Hello student, in last class we started integration by part method. Now here also somewhat more questions we are going to be attend based on this method, that is by part method, and in the second half means the after 15th question we are having question based on the theorem form or a formula form what in the beginning of this exercise I told you, that is Ex integration of Ex fx plus f dash x dx, that we can write as a Ex fx. So once more time we will make it repeat, but before that some more question we are going to attend based on a by part method. In order to that, here I am going to discuss your question number 8 from the exercise 7.6. Here your function is available as a x tan inverse x. Now here obviously inverse function we normally treat for differentiation, where the remaining function doesn't matter it is being algebraic or whatever else, this is to be treated for your differentiation integration. So here tan inverse x you will treat for a differentiation, and this one we are going to treat for integration. Now as per the rule for by part method, let's start its integration. First of all, this tan inverse x you keep as such, then integration of x dx minus big integrating sign differentiation of tan inverse x into integration of x dx. Here we write respective integration and differentiation of the term. Integration of x we write as x square by 2, keeping this tan inverse x as such, minus differentiation of tan inverse x is 1 upon 1 plus x square, where this integration sign you will write first. This is your x square by 2 integration of your x, and here this is the dx with respect to this big integrating sign. Now here we try to arrange this 1 by 2 keep outside, so finally your function is turned this way, x square upon 1 plus x square. Now here it is not available with the x form, so we can suppose it as a t, and dt form we are having. Both are with the same form, so the same term means 1 plus x square we are going to generate on a numerator form. So plus 1 and minus 1 from our side. First time after writing your method as a by part, you will think about the solution of the remaining combination regarding the integration. If it is possible to handle for direct integration, you will proceed about, and if here also by part method is possible, you will proceed for. So here along with this x square plus 1 and minus 1 you will write, because the same term we are going to produce here. This is x square by 2, tan inverse x minus half you keep outside. This is x square plus 1 minus 1 upon 1 plus x square. You will be clear why I did so. I want to make this term separate, keeping x square plus 1 and 1 plus x square with the same combination, and this minus 1 keep under this minus 1 you keep 1 plus x square. So this way these two combination we are generating here. So let them be separate out as a two combination as we are trying to generate over here. This is your 1 plus x square, make it combined with one bracket, keeping this minus 1 outside. This is the 1 plus x square and dx. Now make these two terms separate for further handling. Now x square by 2 tan inverse x minus 1 upon 2, make them separate out. Here we will have the simplified form as x square by 2 tan inverse x minus half keeping outside. This is 1 minus 1 upon 1 plus x square and dx. Now you can see both terms are available for individual integration. So after this step, we are sure that now we can write direct integration. So proceed about writing direct integration over here. That will be x square by 2, as such you keep. This is tan inverse x minus 1 upon 2. Now write integration of 1, that is x. Integration of 1 upon 1 plus x square, that is your 1 upon a tan inverse x upon a. So a is being 1, so no need to write tan inverse x. This is a constant. So this is the final answer you are having with respect to the given question form. So this way various type of combinations you have to handle for final integration process. Now next we are going to move towards question number 10. That is also one of the another combination with the inverse form. Now here question given to us is sine inverse x and its whole square. Here it is very clear that here we are having only single term for integration. So whenever we are having such type of combination in which only single term is available, so one you can take as a multiple of this given combination. Second thing, as we are dealing here with the inverse form, so it is very sure that this term you will treat for differentiation. So multiple of this term means 1 you will treat for integration. So rewrite this question as a multiple of 1. So here started the solution is 1 into this you will treat for differentiation and this you will treat for integration. Now implement here bipart method. This is you write for differentiation, so as such it is to be followed. Integration of 1 minus big integrating sign, differentiation of sine inverse x whole square into integration of 1, and with respect to that this is your dx. Now proceed about the integration and differentiation whatever it is required. So here this will be x integration of 1. This is your sine inverse x whole square minus differentiation of sine inverse square. So first of all, as per your derivative rule, first this power is to be considered as a main function. So accordingly it will be 2 sine inverse x into now differentiation of sine inverse, that is 1 upon under root 1 minus x square. And here the integration of 1 is x. This is your dx with respect to this integrating sign. So now the term we are having for further integration is this 2 you keep over here. This is x sine inverse x upon under root 1 minus x square and dx. Now here you can see this is the differentiation of this one. So suppose we write this sine inverse x as a t, dt is available, so the whole equation will be turned in another form. So this term only we will treat as a I1. This is over now. So now this I1 we will treat separately as a here this we write I1 as minus 2 keeping as such. Only this integrating part we are going to write separately. Or here also if you can handle, it is better to handle at the every time same steps you have to copy. Now here let sine inverse x as a t. So from here you can write x is your sine t. So this x you will replace by that sine t. Second thing, make it differentiate. So differentiate both sides. What will you have? 1 upon under root 1 minus x square dx, and this is your dt. So you can see This is your t, this is your dt, and this x you will write as a sin t. So the whole term it will convert in form of t. So your question will be turned is, this is your sine of t, this is became t, and this is your dt. So now your question is turned into two parts or containing two terms, in which obviously this t you will treat for differentiation, whereas this sine t you will treat for integration. Again by part method you will implement, but here instead of the three term, now we have produced two term for further integration. So let it be sorted out for further using by part method, keeping this I as such for the final answer form. This we keep as such as a I. Now t is to be differentiated, so write as such. This is the integration of sine t minus differentiation with respect to t of this t. Direct also you can write, there is no problem. Now integration of sine t is minus cos t. Here integration of sine will be minus, so minus minus plus, keeping 1, this will be 1, this is your minus cos of t and dt. Minus minus plus, this is minus t cos of t plus cos of t dt. Further it is to be integrate once, so this is your cos of t plus sin t plus c. Means now on substitution of t as a sine inverse x, we are having the final form. So the final form here we are having is minus t means sine inverse of x. Now cos t, sin t we are having as a under root of x. So cos of t you can write as 1 minus x square, where cos t you will have as under root of 1 minus x square. So here this cos t you will write as multiple under root 1 minus x square plus sin t, that means x, and plus constant. So here this I1 evaluation you will substitute here by multiply by minus sign. So here it will be your x sin inverse x whole square minus 2, keeping its solution over here under root with minus sign, this is the minus sign you will write, 1 minus x square into sin inverse x plus x, and at last this constant we make a separate. You can multiply this minus 2 to the individual form and make your each term separate as x sin inverse x whole square minus minus plus under root 1 minus x square, this is constant, sin inverse x minus 2x plus c. So this way you have to handle all type of situation using by part method. So here you can see this entire question convert into two parts. First part in the beginning of the solution, and secondly the question itself turn into a by part method. So this way it was containing the two part means solution in two parts with the same method. So various type of combination you may have, so accordingly you have to think about the solution and go for that. Now one more category I am going to discuss, that is question number 14. In between whatever the questions are available, these are straight one, so easily now you can handle if these two questions are clear to you. And still any problem rise you can ask. Now we are going to move towards next question of the same category, that is question number 14, in which your I is available as x log of x and its whole square form. Obviously here with this log form you will proceed about the differentiation, and this x you will treat for integration. So let it be decide about these two functions. This is for differentiation and this is for integration. Now, using by part method, this is for integration. So keeping this log x whole square as such as the first position, and integration of x minus, this is the integrating sign, differentiation of log of x whole square minus into integration of x and dx. With respect to this outer dx, we will write. Now, integration of x is x square upon 2 log of x whole square minus differentiation of log x whole square. So here also square form is available. So first of all, this power 2 you will consider for differentiation, and then as a multiple form differentiation of log x. So this will give you 2 log of x. Differentiation of log x is 1 upon x. Integration of x is x square upon 2. Now here 1x cancel. This 2 also cancel. So what is left in your hand for further solution? X log x. Now again it is very clear that here second time you have to implement your by part method to this remaining combination, that is your x log of x. As again we are dealing with the log term, so this log you will treat for differentiation, whereas your x you will treat for integration. So this is for integration and this is for differentiation. Re-implement the formula. Keeping this one as such, minus log x keep as such, integration of x minus integrating sign, differentiation of log of x into integration of x dx implement derivation or integration whenever it is required. This is x square by 2 log of x minus differentiation of log is 1 upon x, whereas integration of x is x square upon 2, and this is your dx. 1x will cancel. Now only single term left with you, that is x by 2 for last integration. So that we will write at the final step after writing second time by part method. So here it is x square upon 2 minus you multiply inside x square upon 2 log of x minus plus x upon 2 dx. So this is only the single term you are having for final integration. So it will be proceed as a x square by 2, 1, 2 already available. So x square by 4 will be the final answer form. So that is x square upon 2 log of x whole square minus x square upon 2 log of x plus x square 2 into 2. This is constant. So final answer form we are having is x square by 2 log of x whole square minus x square upon 2 log of x plus x square by 4 plus c. So this is the final answer form we are having as a solution of given question form. So it was about the different type of combination in which by part method can be implemented. Now we are going to move towards the new type of or a different type of combination in which one theorem form it can be implemented. So again here I am going to write that theorem form and going to implement that theorem to the remaining question of the exercise. Now here, first we look at that form. If your question is available as e power x fx and its differentiation is written as additive form and integration we have to find out, but here the basic condition is e power should contain only x, not 2x, not x by 2, not x square like that. It should be contain only power as a x. Then only you can implement this formula form or this theorem form. So if your question turn in this form, then final answer without writing anything or without writing any assumption, you can write as e power x fx and constant. So based on this formula form or this theorem form, now onwards we are going to attend some question. For that purpose, I am going to attend question number 17, in which your question is available as x e power x upon 1 plus x whole square. First idea you will have to implement this form is the presence of your e power x with the x combination. So here first of all, this numerator x we try to generate in such a way that it can be produced as a two function form. One of them is a differentiation of the first one. So just for our reference, this 1 plus x is available. In numerator it is containing x. So if you make plus 1 and minus 1 in a numerator x, somewhat required term can be generated. So in order to that, we write the solution form of this question. This is the question available to us. What I told you, plus 1 and minus 1 our side. Why only plus 1? Because this term we are going to generate here. Now combine your plus 1 to your x, keeping this minus 1 as a second term. So this is the first term we have generated, keeping this one outside. Under the whole combination, this is your having. Make them separate now. Let them divide. This is your 1 upon 1 plus x minus 1 upon 1 plus x whole square. This is your ex and dx. If you look at this combination, you will find that this combination is suited to our form, which is required to write a direct integration form. Here you see, this fx is a 1 upon 1 plus x. So if you write derivation of your fx, we can suppose as a, so here its differentiation you will write as a, this way it is to be treated, so minus 1 plus x minus 1 minus 1. So this will be minus 1 upon 1 plus x whole square. So this is available here. So this you can split as, this way we can write, this became the main function, and here this is the differentiation of 1 upon 1 plus x form. Outside ex is present, so it suits to our required form. So as a direct integration form, it can be written as e power x, your main function is a 1 upon 1 plus x and constant. So this is ex upon 1 plus x and this is being constant. So this way you can implement your theorem form. If it is in a second part, means in the B part, if such type of questions are being asked, so each and everything you have to show stepwise. If it is in MCQ, so from the beginning, if it is clear to you that this is a formation of the f dash x along with your main function, so you can write a direct answer form for your MCQ solution. But if it is asked in a part B, so stepwise you have to proceed about the solution form, because the main task here is to generate the required form of your theorem. Now in order to that, we are going to move towards the next question in which trigonometrical term is being written. Now here, this is the availability of your question. This much. Now here, this trigonometrical combination we will turn in such a way that one term is a function from another, it's its derivation. So here this sine x you will write as a half angle 2 sine x by 2 cos x by 2, where 1 plus cos x in a denominator you will write as a 2 cos square x by 2. You are familiar about these two form, direct many times we have implemented in 11th standard, or here in 12th also we have implemented. So here what I told to write, this is your Ex, 1 plus 2 sine x by 2 cos x by 2. This 1 plus cos x you can write as 2 cos x by 2 dx. Make these two terms separate, keeping e power x outside. So 1 upon 2 cos square x by 2 plus 2 sine x by 2 cos x by 2 upon 2 cos square x by 2 and dx. This is to be cut. What is remain with you? E power x 1 upon 2. 1 upon cos square is your sec square x by 2, where the next term we produce as a sine x by 2 and cos x by 2, that means 10 x by 2. Now write in a proper way which suit to our form. This is your 10 x by 2 plus 1 upon 2 sec square x by 2 and dx. Here if you look at this 10 x by 2 as a main function, find its derivation. This will be your sec square x by 2 into 1 by 2. So as such, this second term we have developed as a differentiation of your 10x by 2. So this term you can write in a required form of theorem is, this is your 10x by 2 plus differentiation of 10x by 2. So now you can direct write the answer form as e power x 10x by 2. So this is the trigonometrical way what we have to decide about the solution form. So this way you have to arrange term when e power x is available in such a way that you can generate your theorem form or implement your theorem form to the question 1. Now just for reference, we are having one more question, that is question number 20, in which I am just giving you hint regarding that. So you try for that, and if you are not getting, you can ask. This is we are having with a cubic form. Now obviously the same term you will generate in a numerator. So here this x minus 3 we will split as x minus 1 and minus 2. Just try to understand what I mean to say. This is make them separate. So this will give you this much. You can see this term is a differentiation of this one. So direct the answer form you will write as e power x minus 1 whole square plus c. So this way direct from the question form it will click to you that which form is a derivation of the main function. So try to attend some more question given in the exercise. So in next I will continue with the remaining forms. Thank you.